But I did. Name's Jack Coulter, 43, retired Army. Been through my share of hellholes, both foreign and domestic. But nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to the weight this town puts on my chest the second I drive past the faded "Welcome to Red Pines" sign, population 3211. That number hasn't changed in 20 years, not officially anyway. I left this place after high school and swore I'd never look back. But last week I got a letter. Not an email, not a text. A real, honest-to-God envelope with no return address. Just my name. Inside, one sentence. She's not dead. Come home. The thing is, she is dead. Or she was. Her name was Lily. My sister. Younger by 3 years. She disappeared in '97 when we were kids. 1 second we were playing in the woods behind our house. Next second she was gone. No screams, no blood, no tracks, just gone. The town searched. FBI got involved. Dogs, helicopters, you name it. They found nothing, not even a scrap of her clothing. After a year she was declared legally dead. Had a funeral with no body. I joined the Army right after. So now you understand why getting that letter felt like a hand reaching through time and yanking me back here. I pulled into town yesterday. The trees seem taller than I remember, denser. Like they've been watching. I stopped at Joe's Diner, grabbed coffee. Same waitress still working there, Gloria. She recognized me immediately but didn't smile. "Jack Coulter," she muttered. "Back from the grave, huh?" I didn't answer, just tipped my hat and left. My childhood home's still standing. Looks like it's been swallowed by the forest. Ivy everywhere. Shutters rotted off. Door creaked when I opened it like the house was surprised to see me. Inside, dust thick enough to choke on. Furniture covered in old sheets. Photos on the wall, yellowed but still hanging. Mom and Dad passed years ago, cancer and heart failure, respectively. No one's been here since. I spent the first night drinking on the porch, shotgun across my lap. Something about this place makes you feel like you're being hunted. Around 2 a.m. I heard it. A laugh, childlike, just outside the tree line. I stood up so fast I knocked over the bottle. "Lily?" I called out, feeling stupid. Silence. Then a whisper. "Jack." My blood froze. It wasn't just my name, it was how it was said. Like she used to say it, like only she could. I ran into the woods like a goddamn idiot, flashlight in one hand, gun in the other. But I swear to you I wasn't drunk enough to imagine what I saw. Bare footprints. Small. In the mud. Leading deeper into the trees. I followed them for at least 20 minutes. That's when I found it. A small clearing. In the center, a mirror. Just standing there. Old, cracked, freestanding, like something from a haunted house. No sign of how it got there or why. And in the mirror, not my reflection. It was me, all right, but not current me. A younger version. 17. The night Lily disappeared. Same clothes, same hair, same look of terror on my face. I blinked and it was gone. The clearing was empty again. I turned around and sprinted home like something was chasing me. Maybe something was. Back at the house, I locked every door, every window, loaded every shell I had. Then I looked at the letter again. She's not dead. Come home. Not who sent it, not why. Just a statement. And the worst part? I believe it, now. I don't know what the hell's going on in Red Pines, but I'm starting to think Lily never left these woods, and neither will I. I didn't sleep that night. Didn't even try. Every sound outside felt intentional. Twigs snapping. The wind, hissing like it had words stuck in its teeth. And then, around 3:11 a.m., yeah, I remember the time exactly, I heard it again. Lily's voice. Jack. Soft, barely audible, but this time, closer. I grabbed the shotgun and went to the front door. Didn't open it. Just stood there, breathing. Like I'd run a mile trying to decide if I was going crazy, or if I'd been crazy for coming back. That's when the phone rang. Let me be clear, there's no landline here. No service. My cell's been a useless paperweight since I hit the outskirts of Red Pines. But there it was, that old rotary phone in the hallway, ringing. I stared at it like it was a snake. Ring. On the 5th ring, I picked it up, said nothing. A voice on the other end whispered, "Behind you." I spun so fast I nearly pulled my shoulder out of socket. Nothing there. Just shadows, furniture, dust. I slammed the phone down and backed into the kitchen, heart hammering so loud I thought I'd pass out. I stayed there till sunrise. When the light finally poured in through the blinds, it felt like the house exhaled with me. I needed answers, not dreams, not voices. So I went to the one person in town who might actually talk to me, Sheriff Walt Kingsley. Walt's been sheriff in Red Pine since dinosaurs roamed the earth. He was also one of the first responders when Lily went missing. His office hadn't changed since the 80s. Still had that wood paneling and the scent of stale coffee mixed with whatever sadness this town never got rid of. He looked up as I walked in. "Well, I'll be damned," he said, chewing on a toothpick. "Ghost of Jack Coulter." "Not yet," I said. "But working on it." He didn't smile. I sat down across from him and laid the letter on the table. He didn't even look at it. "I ain't got time for your games, Jack. Someone thinks Lily's alive. She's not. I heard her. You didn't. Then explain this." I slid a photo across the table. I'd taken it that morning. Bare footprints in the mud just outside the clearing where I saw the mirror. Walt stared at it a long time, then finally muttered, "Jesus." "You know something," I said. He stood, went to the door, and flipped the sign to closed. Then he sat down, leaned forward, and whispered, "Did you ever hear about the caves?" I frowned. "What caves?" He glanced around like someone was listening. 3 miles north of the old logging trail. There's an entrance behind the waterfall. Locals call it Devil's Throat. Some say it's just a cavern. Others, what? They say it's where time forgets things, people, whole memories. You go in, you don't always come out, and if you do, you ain't right after. Is that where she went? He didn't answer, but his silence was loud. I left the office and drove straight out past where the paved roads turned to dirt. Gus, my old truck, rattled the whole way up the incline. By the time I reached the falls, sun was high and the air felt heavy, like something was pressing down on the day. I found the entrance. Just like Walt said, it was smaller than I expected. I had to crouch to get through. Inside, the temperature dropped instantly. The air felt wrong, like it wasn't meant to be breathed. About 20 feet in, I found the first carving on the wall. They echo what they hear. It was etched deep, old, scratched by desperate hands. I kept going. There were tunnels branching off in all directions. I chose the one that felt wrongest. Damp, narrow, smelled like wet stone and copper. After maybe 20 minutes, I heard it again. "Jack." Except this time, it wasn't Lily's voice. It was mine. "Jack, turn around." I stopped cold. The voice came again. Same tone, same scratch in the throat I get when I haven't spoken all day. "Jack, turn around." I did. Nothing. No one. Just the dark tunnel behind me. I kept walking. Faster now. Then I found the second carving. "Don't believe your own voice." I started running. Eventually, the tunnel opened into a chamber. Big, echoey, like a dome underground. And in the center, swear to God, was a mattress. Old, stained. Like someone had been living down here. Next to it, a journal. I flipped through it. The writing was frantic, repetitive. Names scratched out, pages torn, but one sentence kept showing up. "She's not Lily." My blood ran cold. I snapped a picture of it and turned to leave. That's when I heard someone breathing behind me. I froze. Felt the air shift, and a voice, soft, girlish, whispered, "You found me, Jack. You found me, Jack." That voice, sweet, familiar, but flat, like someone reading a bedtime story without knowing the meaning of the words. I turned around. She was standing at the edge of the chamber, half in shadow. Long brown hair, pale skin. Lily's hoodie, the one she wore the night she vanished. Same frayed cuff she used to chew on when she got nervous. But something was off. Her eyes, they were too wide, too still, like glass marbles. No twitch, no blink, just staring. Lily? She tilted her head. Is that what you want me to be? What kind of question is that? She stepped closer, bare feet silent on the stone. You came back for me. I lowered the shotgun slowly. Damn right I did. Her mouth twitched. A smile, a glitch. I remember you crying, my stomach nodded. When? The night it happened, you were on the floor, screaming my name. But you never heard what I heard, that's why you left me. I didn't leave you. I searched. For months, she moved closer. Not deep enough. That's when I saw her fingers. Too long. Bending in ways that made my knees lock. She raised one hand and pressed it gently to my chest. You always wanted a version of me you could fix, Jack. I stepped back. Who are you? Her smile dropped. That's the wrong question. The chamber pulsed, like a heartbeat. I swear to God the walls breathed in and out. The journal behind me flipped open on its own, pages fluttering like a caged bird. She looked at it. They always leave that behind. They who? She didn't answer. I turned and ran. Back through the tunnels, barely seeing, barely breathing. I don't remember how long I sprinted. Felt like minutes, maybe hours. But when I burst out into daylight, I collapsed into dirt and dead leaves, gasping like I'd just been born again. Except, it wasn't the same forest. I recognized the waterfall, sure, but the trees were thinner. The air, wrong again, crisp in a way it hadn't been when I entered. And when I checked my watch, I froze. The date had changed. By 3 days. 3 whole days gone. Like I'd blinked and time stepped over me. I rushed to town, ignoring the speed limit, tires screeching as I pulled up to the diner. Walt wasn't there. Neither was anyone else I recognized. The server, a kid, maybe 20, with a nose ring, gave me a weird look when I asked about Sheriff Kingsley. He retired 5 years ago, man. No, I said, I just saw him. 3 days ago. The kid's face paled. You sure you're okay? I left without paying. Back at the house, everything was older, weathered. The front porch had a new railing. There was mail piled up. Inside, the screen door addressed to someone named Coulter, but not Jack. I tore it open. Electric bill, water bill. A birth certificate, the child's name, Lillian Coulter. Mother, Madison Coulter. No father listed. My knees buckled. There were photos. Taped to the fridge. A woman, dark hair, soft smile. Not Lily, not my Lily. But me, older. Gray at the temples, holding a baby. Laughing. None of this made sense. I stumbled into the bedroom. Everything was different. New sheets, new furniture. A woman's coat hung on the back of the chair. A phone buzzed on the nightstand. Somehow, now it had service. The screen lit up. New voicemail, I played it. Static then. You shouldn't have left, Jack. They needed you to forget. Now it's starting again. Then silence. And then, a baby, crying. From the nursery. A nursery that hadn't existed before I went into those caves. I opened the door, and there she was. In the crib. Lily. But not the Lily I lost. A baby, smiling. Reaching for me with those 2 wide eyes. I didn't pick her up. I couldn't. She just stared at me, those glassy eyes reflecting something I couldn't bear to see. Something ancient. Something aware. I backed out of the nursery slowly, pulling the door shut behind me. It clicked into place like it had always belonged here, like it had been waiting for me. I stumbled into the living room. My knees were shaking. I looked around, again trying to convince myself I was dreaming, hallucinating, hell, maybe dying. But everything was too real. I picked up the photo on the fridge, the one with me and the baby. It was in a cheap silver frame now, like it had been there forever. I looked at my own face, older, softer somehow. Happier? I didn't recognize that man. That wasn't me. The front door opened behind me. My blood ran cold. A voice. Soft. Familiar. Hey, babe. Sorry I'm late. I turned. It was Lily. No, not the Lily I knew. This one looked like her, spoke like her, but the edges were off. Her eyes darted too quickly, her smile stretched too far, and she wasn't surprised to see me standing in her house like a stranger. She kissed me on the cheek like it was just another Tuesday. I picked up formula. Did she nap today? I couldn't breathe. What the hell is happening? She looked confused for a moment, then amused. You always ask that, she said. Every time. I stepped back. Every time? She nodded, brushing her hair behind her ear, then. You were never supposed to remember. My stomach dropped. I don't belong here, I whispered. She tilted her head. But you do now. That's the gift, Jack. The choice was made. I didn't choose this. Her smile faded. No, she said, but you passed the threshold. I turned and bolted. Out the front door, past the porch, down the drive. The trees were wrong again. The air smelled like winter, though it was June. I kept running, no direction, just away. I ended up at the base of the cliffs near the old ranger station. It was collapsed, overgrown. A plaque out front read, "In memory of John Coulter, 1978-2023, he never stopped searching." My legs gave out. I screamed. Rage, fear, loss. It all exploded out of me like I could purge it. That's when I heard the static again, from inside my coat pocket. The voice recorder, the one from the bunker. I didn't remember taking it with me. I pressed play. Cycle 9 initiated. Host cognitive instability detected. Memory bleed imminent. Initiate reset. Then another voice. My voice. From days ago. If you're hearing this, Jack, it means they didn't wipe you clean this time. I froze. You've been through this. This exact loop over and over. The cave, the nursery, Lily, the baby, none of it's real. Or maybe it all is. Either way, they're studying you. Studying us. Red Pines is the hub. The breach point. We were soldiers once, now we're just samples. A pause. Find the real door. The one under the waterfall. Not the stairs. The spiral. They can't track you through it. But hurry. Once the baby appears, the loop finalizes. After that, you disappear for good. I dropped the recorder. The baby, the one in the crib, crying. Not real yet, but close. I turned and sprinted. Back to the cliffs. Back to the falls. The water pounded the rocks like it was trying to drown the forest. Behind the cascade, I found it. Spiral staircase carved into the stone, slick with moss and time. I descended. 1 floor, 2, 3. Then darkness, a room with walls made of screens. Each one showing a version of me. Some with different women, some alone, some dead. One screen blinked to static. Then a face filled the screen. Mine. But older. You made it, he said. Good. Now, listen. A blaring alarm cut him off. Unauthorized. Breach. Reset protocol in progress. The screen shut down. A door opened. Blinding white light. I stepped through and found myself sitting in a diner booth. Rain outside. Coffee in front of me. And across from me. Her Lily, real Lily, same hoodie, same nervous cuff chewing. She looked up, eyes alive, soft blinking. Jack, she said, where did you go just now? I blinked. I don't know. She smiled. You were miles away. I looked around. The waitress filled our cups, old radio playing Buddy Holly. Everything right, or was it? Behind Lily in the corner of the diner sat a baby, alone, in a high chair, smiling.